Now in property, timing matters. Buy too early and you're betting on a promise. When you buy too late, you wonder if you already missed your chance. Now Pavilion Damansara Heights has now reached that point. So is 2026 too late, or could it actually be the best time to consider buying in? So yeah, welcome to Pavilion Damansara Heights, one of Kuala Lumpur's most ambitious integrated developments, bringing together luxury residence, premium offices, a lifestyle mall, and direct MRT connectivity, all in the heart of Damansara Heights. Now you see, 6 years ago, right, none of this existed actually. Buyers who came early weren't buying what you see today. They were taking a bet on something that hasn't been built yet. But today, right, for the first time, we can actually walk through this development, experience it the way residents and office workers do every single day. And ask yourself honestly, has it really delivered on what was promised? So instead of doing another property review today, right, I want to answer a bigger question. After 6 years, after phase 1 is almost fully sold, is it actually still worth considering Pavilion Damansara Heights in 2026? Let's find out. Now, before we answer that, I think it helps to understand what buyers back then were actually deciding on. See, back in 2020, 2021, buying here was a very different decision. There was no completed residence, no shopping mall, no office community. I mean, back then it was Pusat Bandar Damansara, where all the government quarters is at. And then, the land is owned by J Corp, right, at the time, as I remember. So everything buyer were committing to existed only in like brochures, plans, artist impression. At that time, don't have AI renditions yet. So the idea was ambitious, to create a place where people could live, work, shop and move around, all within one connected development. Some buyers believe in that early enough to commit. Others prefer to wait until you could see the finished product by themselves. So neither approach was right or wrong. They were simply making decisions based on different levels of risk management or risk appetite. So today we are in a very different position already. Much of what was promised has already been built. People are living here, businesses are also running, the mall is operating, which means, right, for the first time, we don't have to imagine what Pavilion Damansara Heights might become. We can actually go and experience it like what I'm doing it today. And that's exactly what we're going to find out today. Now, first question is a very simple one. Can people actually get here easily? So when this project was first launched, right, direct MRT connectivity was one of its biggest selling points. But for a period after the mall was open, the connection wasn't quite what people expected. At that time, you see right behind me, this is actually the direct connection, the bridge that connects you all the way to the MRT station. And those days, right, once you reach here, you have to go down B3 to connect to the mall, and then you have to enter the mall parking and take a lift back up again. So it's very inconvenient. And at that time, people from Bangsa side, whether you are staying in Sri Penaga, you're staying in Menara Bangsa or Wan Menerong or the landed homes in Taman Sar, right? Most of them, they don't want to come over to this side. It's not because the mall is bad or what, but it's just very inconvenient, especially if you're walking. But today is no longer the case here. Even the workforce, the very mature workforce in Semantan area, are also making the trip down here as well during lunchtime, making it more convenient for residents, office workers, and visitors alike. But good connectivity alone doesn't make development work. Can people actually live here comfortably or not? That's the next question, right? Yeah, so today you've got supermarket, cafes, restaurants, retail stores, everyday convenience, all this within walking distance. So, for someone living here, right, many daily errands can be done without getting into your car. That genuinely, for me, it's a very different experience from living in a standalone condo somewhere else in Damansara Heights. You see, but the thing is, integrated development alone also need people to use it consistently, right? Not just on weekends. So what exactly is driving the footfall here on a regular basis? So one of the biggest contributors is, of course, the office components. Yeah. as more companies sets into the towers, you will naturally see more people working here, having lunch, meeting clients, spending time around the development throughout the week. And that's what creates real activity during the day. Not just on what they call Saturday or Sunday afternoon, in fact, now the 9 corporate towers in phase 1, they're all fully sold out. And companies are also moving in as well. And phase 2, you also have corporate offices as well. That will add up to the footfall. Yeah, but to be fair, this development also has its own sets of challenges. Because you see, when the mall opened in stages, right, there was a period where it felt much quieter than many people expected. So looking back, right, that's not unusual, for a large integrated development like this. Retail takes time. Communities, they don't form overnight. Bukit Bintang Pavilion, when it was first opened, the first year as well is extremely quiet. Same goes to Pavilion Bukit Jalil as well. But I want to be honest about where things stands today, not just historically. So retail occupancy is still maturing. Right now, where I'm standing at, right, it's actually phase 2 area. You see, there are still shops coming in. Massimo Dutti, we have Zara right in front. So not every unit is filled up yet. TGV is also coming up. So the remaining construction phases do mean that some parts of the development are still work in progress. So if you're someone who wants everything, fully completed and settled in before you move in, then this is a real consideration that you want to put in. It's worth factoring that as well. What I also say is this, PDH, right, Pavilion Damansara Heights, serve a very different role compared with Pavilion Bukit Bintang. See, Pavilion KL is actually a destination mall for tourists, luxury shopping, for weekends. There's plenty of hotels there. The Rain Rave was there, or what they call the Visit Malaysia 2026. A lot of them are talking about that particular area. Now, Pavilion Damansara Heights, on the other hand, is built for a totally different lifestyle. It's designed for people who live here, work here, and spend time here every single day, So I would say that after spending time around the development today, and even for the last few weeks, right, I would say much of what was originally promised, right, has already been delivered. Yeah, but of course that is just my observation lah. By the way, if you're enjoying this documentary so far, I really appreciate that if you would consider, subscribing to my channel. See, my goal is to create honest property documentaries like this. So, to help you make a more better informed decision when you are buying property, maybe in Pavilion Damansara Heights. So this is behind me. TGV is going to be opened up soon. Okay. So far, we've experienced Pavilion Damansara Heights from the ground itself, but honestly, that's only one side of the story. The real question is whether the market see it the same way as me or not. One of the clearest indicators is the rental market. So today, most well-presented homes are looking at 650, 7 ringgit per square feet. So the premium ones, right, with better views, better ID renovations and all, are much more than that. Yeah. To me, that is a good sign that people are not just buying here, but they also choose to live here. On a side note, I have a client who rented a unit from me, 23,000 a month, for a 2,300 square feet unit in Crown Residence. That client is not staying around here. He is working in what they call TRX, but he still chose here because he's been living in cities for his whole life, and he wanted something more quieter. And of course, over here you have international schools for the family. It's more homely, I would say. The resale market also tells a similar story, completed phase 1 transactions have already crossed 2,000 PSF already, some 2,002. That tells us that buyers are placing real value on a completed ecosystem rather than just a future promise, And at the same time, I also spend some time reading some of the forums like Reddit, Lawyat.net, and some comments from some of the YouTube videos. What's interesting is this, the conversation has also shifted, Early discussions were focused on the mall opening in stages and whether the development can actually live up to its expectation or not. Today, the conversation has moved on already. People are talking about the retail occupancy is improving, connectivity is much better now, and how the development continues to mature over time. And to me, that says a lot. Now on pricing, phase 2 today will start from around 1,006 per square feet. Premium units on a higher floor with better views are naturally priced more than that. I'll move over this side because they have some live band going on there. So, when you compare that against completed luxury condos in Damansara Heights, right? They are already trading at 2,000, 2,002 per square feet already. It gives you a sense of where phase 2 pricing stands today. So when you gel all this together, we put all this together, I think the market is gradually telling the same story that we have experienced throughout this documentary as well. Yeah. And that brings us to the final question. If this is where Pavilion Damansara Heights stands today, hey, what's going to happen next? By the way, I receive a lot of questions and WhatsApp messages from foreigners also asking whether they can buy properties like this or not. So if you are asking the same questions, right, I've prepared a foreign buyer guide for free. So you can check it out in the description. Now, most people at this point would say that the story is quite simple and straightforward. Development has really matured, price has moved. But the early window has closed. But there is one thing that most don't talk about, and I think it matters more than you think. You see, there are more residential phases coming up, royal suites, Imperial residence. More people will live here, that's for sure. More office space will continue to fill up. And as the community grows, the retail ecosystem, cafes and restaurants will also grow with it, that's for sure. That's actually one of the, I would say, the structural advantage of integrated development, you see. They are not just, next to each another, but they complement and they fit each other as well. So 6 years ago, right, most of us has to imagine what this place will become. Today, if you spend a few hours here, right, walk through the mall, use the MRT, talk to those who have lived here, then I think it's fair. You can decide for yourself based on what you see, not what you read on forums and YouTube comments and all. But at the same time, of course, the master plan is not fully completed yet, which means today's buyer, they're not buying at the very beginning, but they're also not buying at the very end. So to me, that's what makes 2026 such an interesting point in this development's journey. So after everything that we have seen today, right, let's come back to the question that we started with. Is it actually too late to buy into Pavilion Damansara Heights in 2026? Personally, I don't think the opportunity has disappeared. It has just simply changed, 6 years ago, right, buyers were committing to a promise. But today, right, today's buyer have something that the first buyer never had, which is evidence, my dear friends. 6 years of evidence. And that to me is the real shift here. So the risk profile of buying here today, right, it's fundamentally very different from what it is in 2020 or 2021. Okay. Another thing is also worth considering is that Pavilion Damansara Heights, Damansara Heights itself has very limited land left for high-rise developments already. All right. So although it doesn't guarantee like future price growth kind of thing, it actually explains why it has remained one of Kuala Lumpur's most sought after addresses right year after year. Yeah, so for me, the real question is not about whether it's too late or not. Better question is whether Pavilion Damansara Heights, as it stands right now, is it right for your lifestyle, your family and your long-term investment goals. By the way, if you'd like to see more of Phase 2 and what it looks like from the inside, I've done a full walkthrough on Imperial Residence and Royal Suites, okay, the shoe units, and I think it'll give you a much more better picture of the homes after everything that we have discussed today. I'll link the video in the description, or you can check it out here on the screen. Yes. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.